Oh, hi everyone. Oh, look at Delred using the new emote. Look at Delred using the new emote. That's right. New emote, chat. New emote. New emote has hit the second tower. Yep, we have a new emote for subs. It's called the Jack Pork Lick emote. I couldn't come up with a better name. So that's what it is. So it's here. We're playing WoW. Let me move my camera a bit. I like my camera to cover the chat as much as I can. Maybe I'll leave it to. Let's do like this. It's probably good, right? So, for those who don't know, this is the game that I actually play as well. Like a lot. A lot. I've been on a bit of a Counter-Strike shooter in general, PUBG, COD, all that bender since February. And that's not new. Those are not games that were new to me by any means. But there are definitely games that I don't main regularly. WoW is the game that I main, and all versions. Sorry, I'm listening upstairs. My daughter might need help going potty. I was correct. A child needed a potty. There. Watch out. No, you can't, honey. Oh, I need to change my title. There, drops are enabled. If you do exclamation point drops, I believe that'll just make sure you're enrolled for it. You have your WoW account attached to your Twitch account. You will... I think it's a pet. Let's see what happens if I type it. All right, nothing happened when I typed it, so well, I don't know. Okay, watch out, honey. I gotta scoot my chair. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try to find a normal raid. I literally haven't played this tier at all. I've done the LFR raid because I wanted to have technically done it, but LFR really doesn't count, I did 1 week of Mythic Plus because I wanted to technically have done it, but haven't done that a lot either because I've just been playing shooters. That's all I've been doing. So, we'll try to find a raid. I don't know if we'll be able to find... Okay, sounds good. No, I can't. You'd have to walk up by yourself. I can't take you. Okay, so I don't know if I'll be able to find a normal raid. I don't know how many people are actually running normal raids, you know what I mean? And maybe I start one, but... Oh, what should I do? Let's look. Probably Void Spire, right? But really anything. See if there's any pug groups going. I'll sign up as heals or DPS. I don't really want to go into a raid that has a ton done already, but I mean... It's not going to be likely to find just a fresh one, you know. Could sign up for this one. Could sign up for this one. Okay, and then what else do we have? So, Sportful. What's the other one? What's March? That's right. See if there's any of those ones going. Yeah. So we'll see. Nice. Got into the March. Now, don't ask if I know any mechanics. I do not. Maybe I should watch a video real quick. Maybe that's what we'll do. Let's pause this real quick.
This is a guide to the Beleren fight in the March on Caldanos on normal and heroic difficulty. This
Thanks,
is
Hazel.
a very cool fight that is highly color.
I'm going to put that in my other window
so
while I
if you
go
happen
over.
to be blue-yellow colorblind and have not already done so,
It's up north,
you
isn't
may
it?
need to enable the Tritanopia filter in the settings.
Yeah.
Void Light Convergence does raid damage and assigns everyone to be either Void or Light. Void turns you blue, and Light turns you gold. Pay attention to which color you are, because it's going to matter for every mechanic in this fight.
Okay.
Generally speaking, mechanics in your color are fine to touch, and anything of the other color will hurt a lot.
Okay, gotcha.
Tanks will deal with Guardian's Edict. The boss will charge up a big cone of either Void or Light at their tank. The matching tank must take the cone, and nobody else should be in it. Point this away from people, and tank swap to make sure the matching tank takes the cone. Lines of Void and Light orbs will cross the arena. Touching a matching orb clears it and hurts a little. Touching the wrong color orb hurts a lot. Soak a few orbs of your color to make room for the other team, and pass through the gaps that the other team soaked for you. Eternal Burns will afflict players with damage over time and a healing absorb. The dot will continue until the absorb is healed off. Healers can prioritize topping these players to end the burning. Void and Light Phoenix adds will target players with soak attacks. Void players can help soak the blue ones, and Light players get in to soak the yellow ones.
Okay.
Those leave behind a nasty puddle, so try to move them a bit out of the way. After the soaks, you've got birds to deal with. They will try to cast Eruption and must be kicked by a player of the matching color. Interrupt the bird that's the same color as you. When
Okay, it doesn't apply to me because I don't have an
become
interrupt
eggs
anymore.
that must be killed within 15 seconds. Finish off the eggs or else the ads will respawn. When the boss runs out of health, he'll do a fabulous death drop AoE in the middle. Move away from the center to take less damage. That brings us to Big Egg phase, where we need to damage the egg to progress the fight. We've got these Void and Light pinwheel attacks, and you guessed it, you want to stand in your matching color. After a bit of that, the boss resurrects, and we're back to phase 1. You'll get assigned a new color, so pay attention in case it changes. You might switch, you might not. On normal, that's it. On heroic, we also get...
Okay, then if that's it, then I don't want to hear the rest of it. Thank you, Hazel. Thank you. Okay, so that's a pretty easy fight. Literally just do the mechanics that are your color. It's pretty obvious. So that's what we'll do. Okay, I'm gonna... Wait, that's not the only boss in the raid, is it? Is it? No, it's not. Boom. Boom. I miss having Crusader Strike on Paladin. Like, I want that so bad.
Heroes, now! We must bring them down together! It's too far away.
It just, I don't know. With the gutting of classes and everything like that, it just doesn't feel good. I don't think I've played a class yet. And granted, I haven't played a lot of the classes. But I've yet to find a class that I really like with all the what am I trying to say? All like the pruning, the spell bloat pruning. The thing to me, it wasn't bloat. That's a lot of those spells that they took out are some of what made the classes fun. You know? So I don't know.
I'm out of range. Heroes, now! We must bring them down together!
Okay, nice.
Fellow Ren, please! We are defenders of the Sunwell, as are you!
Avoid. Mother says it speaks to you. To Bello Ren, we are attacking what he was sworn to defend.
We gotta kill these eggs. What do we think about Classic Plus potentially being announced soon? Do we? I don't. So it's gonna happen. That's not a question. My question is, are they gonna wait till BlizzCon to announce it? Because it seems like the hype is building already, with leaks about Camelot and everything like that. And I'm not entirely convinced that leaks, and this is a general statement, not necessarily specifically about Blizzard, but I'm not convinced that leaks always come from outside a company. Like, wouldn't it make so much sense for someone at Blizzard to intentionally leak stuff about a highly anticipated new game to build hype, you know? I think that would be awesome, and it's obviously working. Whether or not it was someone at Blizzard, you know what I mean? So I feel like there's a possibility that they release it earlier, that they announce, not release it, that they announce it earlier than BlizzCon, because BlizzCon's in September. BlizzCon's in September. So it's June, July. So July, August, September. So 3 months before they announce it. I don't know. I guess it's not as long as I thought, but still, 3 months is a long time after hype has already started to build. Is my point, I guess. And the thing is, with the internet and with people, in 3 months, the hype could be dead. Now, I don't think it will be with Classic Plus. I think people have been waiting for it for just too long, pretty much since. I wouldn't say since 2019 Classic, but I would probably say since Wrath about. I think when we started to kind of branch off, when people were kind of asking what is going to be the next thing after Wrath, if they were going to go to Kata, if it was just going to be, Wrath era, essentially, if it was going to go back to vanilla, that's when I think the Classic Plus crowd started to get a little louder. Where was I going with that? So anyway, sorry. So I don't think the hype will die down in 3 months if people stop talking about leaks, or if less leaks come out. But in general, other video games, especially if there's no established IP, if the hype dies down before you're actually able to release something, that's really detrimental. Anyway, all that to say, I just hope that doesn't happen with Classic Plus. I'm excited. I'm excited for Classic Plus in any state. Anything they do is going to be... that's the thing. I think WoW gamers are so concerned with having the perfect game when we've never had the perfect game, and the perfect game doesn't exist. We need to be excited about just having something new in general. And I know that sounds like a low bar, but think about where we were pre-2019 with just retail. That's it. We had retail. And we had private servers were a thing, have been a thing. But if we're talking official Blizzard stuff, it was retail. That was it. And now we have retail, Mists of Pandaria Classic, hardcore, Season of Discovery, and I know some of these are not super active anymore. Season of Discovery, Classic, not Classic Era, just Permanent Classic. Is that Classic Era? I don't know. Classic Era, Anniversary is up to TBC now. That's 6 different versions of WoW, and I'm sure I'm missing something. And we've had versions of WoW too that have come and gone. Season of Mastery, Season of there was another one, wasn't there? Anyway, how spoiled are we? And I mean that not as a oh my gosh, you guys are so spoiled. I'm saying that's a grateful how spoiled are we to have our favorite video game be 6 different versions of it. You know what I mean? What other game does that? COD maybe is the only other maybe argument you could have, and it's not even the same argument, because COD it's releasing a new game every year rather than a different version of the game. I think the only argument there is that they're released so close to each other that previous COD games are still viable to play. So anyway, I think not to say we shouldn't be telling Blizzard what we want, not to say we shouldn't speak our mind, not to say we shouldn't be vocal about what we want out of Classic Plus. Video game development companies should obviously listen to their audience to a certain extent. And that certain extent is a long extent. But I'm trying to focus on the game now. But we should be grateful still amidst that, is how I'll say it. Amidst the vocality, amidst telling Blizzard what we want, we can't forget to be grateful that we are going to then have 7 different versions of our game to play. You know what I mean? That's really cool. Why are you running toward me, bro?
Tank combo. Tank combo. Void on me. Orcs incoming. Adds coming. Sacred light. Tank combo. Watch your feet. Tank combo.
That was awkward positioning right there. I almost hit everything.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Alright. That wasn't too bad.
In the end,
Huh?
he sacrificed himself for
Can you watch
No need to
mermaids?
mourn. They'll return on
I don't
your
really know what that means. Okay, just saying the word mermaids again doesn't answer the question for me.
end to their
What is
madness.
mermaids?
Hold the line. This ends now.
That's a mermaid. There isn't a mermaids show that I know of anyway. You'd have to go up and ask mommy. Anyway, that was a long-winded way of saying Classic Plus, I'm excited for no matter what happens with it. Do I hope it's good? Of course I do. But am I going to be happy just that we're getting any sort of new classic content? Yeah. Old school RuneScape. That's another good comparison. That's the only other real, company that I can think of that has many different versions of their game. I suppose that's actually a perfect comparison. Okay, I need to watch a video on this boss. Am I going to be able to? Where'd that YouTube tab go? I have so many tabs.
This is your professional guide for the March on Kel'Danis raid. The video is split into two parts. Part 1 is a general overview of the fight covering its mechanics, and part 2 don't. Midnight Falls. This is a 3-phase fight with an intermission between phase 1 and 2. Most of the boss's abilities deal heavy damage, so it's extremely important to remain aware and dodge everything. The final phase requires using an extra action button to create a safe zone for the raid. To make this easier, before the pull, go ahead and designate 4 players to be the crystal carriers and give them an order in which they will be activating. You can lust on pull. Phase 1. The boss starts this fight with Death's Dirge. This is a memory game where the boss will briefly display 3 of the same runes around him 3 times. Each time a rune appears, it will be a different shape, and players will need to remember the order that these runes appear. There are 5 possible runes: a diamond, a triangle, a circle, a T, and an X. Once those 3 sets of runes display, 3 random players will be marked with one of those runes. Players need to order themselves clockwise around the boss, matching how the runes appeared. So if the boss shows triangle, diamond, and T, the triangle player should position to the right, the diamond player just to the left, and the T player last. The boss will send out a beam, which starts at the active tank, and then this beam rotates clockwise all the way back around. If this beam hits the runes in the wrong order, it will deal massive raid damage over 5 seconds. Heaven's Glaive spawns 5 glaives around the boss. You want to stand between these.
We're YOLOing it. We're YOLOing it because we're pulling. There's a possibility I get kicked if I wipe us. But I got it. I got it. It's easy.
Five, four, three, two, one.
So T, X, diamond. T. We did it. We did it, chat. We got the mechanic first person, and we did it.
Target change.
I am denied. You solve nothing.
I love the Banjo-Kazooie music going on in the background. It's pretty sick. Oh, I didn't see him. I think those were not done correctly. One sec.
Admirable, but futile. This was the only outcome.
All right, I need to repair. I see you guys are getting a lot of use out of the new emotes. Emote. There's not plural. I'll do a quick reload. Can I skip this song? Okay, it's almost over. You should come play Mop. I have thought about it. So if I already had a max level character in MOP, there are multiple times where I would have come and had like a little stint in MOP, played, do raids for a couple weeks, stuff like that at least. I never even finished leveling a character in MOP. And I know it's fast. That's not the issue. It's just leveling, period, that I can't fathom doing right now, which sucks because that's a major part of WoW. And I lost that drive to level when Midnight came out, when TBC came out, when MOP came out, I guess MOP came out a lot sooner than the other two, but like TBC and Midnight Retail launched pretty close to each other, and I had just lost any motivation for leveling. So out of all three of those things, this character right here is the only one that I've leveled, where I think it's because before that, when we were the War Within, Cataclysm, I'm thinking more back to Wrath, but War Within, Cataclysm, whatever, and Classic Anniversary, I had, at least in War Within, I had a max level of every class. I had multiple max levels in Cata and Wrath, and a max level in Classic Anniversary, and then that's all just gone. And I know that's the point, but having that all just be gone and then having to level again is just getting tiring. TBC Classic 2 did not do well. They should have changed more. Yeah, I don't know if I actually disagree. I don't think they should have changed anything, but if they were not going to change anything, they should consider having TBC be like, they should have kept Season of Discovery going and push that through to TBC, because I think the anniversary servers, at least from what I've seen so far, are meant to cater to the era community, the people who are not no changes, but because I mean they've made significant changes, but to people who just want to play Classic and that's it forever. And so if they change too much, I think it would alienate that side of the community. But I agree, just doing TBC again without any changes is really, really monotonous, and not having another option to go to for TBC that wasn't era or that wasn't anniversary, I think is pretty tough. So I agree and disagree, I think. I don't know if we're going to get another tank for this fight. So I agree, but I think the way they should implement changes is why did they stop with Season of Discovery? They could have kept that going so much longer, push that into TBC. They could go through the main 3 vanilla expansions, so vanilla, TBC, and Wrath. They could have so many ways going through all 3 of those. If you think of them like a trilogy, and you think about WoW players playing for years on end, there's no concern in my mind about people being willing to play through an entire trilogy of vanilla, TBC, Wrath in a Season of Discovery format. I think that would be really cool. I think WoW players would totally play that, while also keeping the quote unquote vanilla servers vanilla. I think there's concerns. I'm sure there are concerns with splitting the player base too much. I just said, actually, before you came into the stream, there's like 6 different active versions of WoW right now, which splits it a lot, but there's millions of players playing. And I think ultimately, if there's millions of players playing retail, how many, if retail was the only thing available, how many more millions of people would play if there was Classic? So they add Classic, and instead of splitting that up, it adds subscribers. Now it gets to a certain point where if you have too many versions of WoW, it does start to split. There's not enough of an audience for every single version of WoW they ever want to do. But I don't think Blizzard needs to be as worried as I think they are about splitting the WoW player base very much. And I think they need to experiment more. That's what I really hope with Classic Plus. So I want them to keep a lot of support for there's so many different names for Anniversary Realms. I want them to keep those going. I want them to make those. I think in an ideal world, they would make the Anniversary Realms would be rotating through vanilla, TBC, Wrath, reset, do a full wipe, maybe give an option to move your characters somewhere after that. I don't know where. Ultimately, I think retail is actually the only answer on where you should move your characters, but that's a whole other can of worms. And that should stay very vanilla experience. Then there should be So we have retail, we have what I'll call vanilla servers, which is right now anniversary servers, and then experimental servers. Now that leaves out hardcore, that leaves out already established things like Season of Discovery, but experimental servers to go through whatever they want to go through. I don't know. The community pushed sod phasing to go faster. Yeah, they did. And then it got to the last phase, and then they just didn't do anything. Blizzard didn't do anything, which is crazy. Wow, no way. I know, it's crazy. Thank you for using the new emote. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Credits to a demeaning cow for that one. So anyway, I think so. I'm trying to solve two problems. Hold on, I got it. Triangle, circle, X. Triangle, circle, X. Triangle, circle, X. Triangle, circle, X. Okay, I don't have to do it. I'm trying to solve two problems, right? Where we both want new WoW content that isn't just retail. But also we can't be splitting the community up that much with 6 or 7 funny joke different versions of the game right now. That's just too much. So those are the two problems I'm trying to solve in one fell swoop. You scratched your itch? Yeah, I couldn't resist it. It's just my game, you know? WoW is just my game. No matter how much I try to run from it, no matter how many other games I play. Oh, I keep forgetting we need to heal these things. Triangle X. Something triangle X. T triangle X. T triangle. Oh, it's diamond. T diamond X. The T guy needs to move. Okay, we're fine with that. I'll grab the crystal. I guess I don't really know what to do with it. I didn't get to watch the whole mechanics video. I think I just drop these when we get the ads. You don't have to tell me. Yeah, it's undeniable. And I'm the type of person where I'm gonna play WoW no matter how good it is. And that's an important bias to understand when I'm making all these statements about Classic Plus and everything. Hold on. Circle, diamond, triangle. Circle, diamond, triangle. Circle, diamond, triangle. Not me. That's an important distinction to make when I'm making these statements about Classic Plus, about the state of the game, everything like that. They're not doing it. Okay. All right, sweet. Is that I'm going to play WoW no matter what state the game is in. And that's just a fact. So I'm going to be more forgiving of bad gameplay design, stuff like that. Not that I should be, but I just am. The best thing they could do is give flex rating to all versions of the game. 100% agree. I think the only version that should potentially not have it is what I'm calling the vanilla servers. But if we're going to be splitting the community into those era servers, they're only going to go down in population over time naturally, and it might get to a point where they can't support doing like 40-man raids anymore. Having it be cyclical, go through vanilla, TBC, Wrath, wipe, go back to vanilla, might help with some of that, build up some little bit of hype. But yeah, I think flex rating needs to happen for all versions of WoW. It's just, it needs to happen. Unlike this raid's going to happen. This isn't happening. It's one of those things that I think it probably contributed to the decline of raid culture in retail WoW, is how I'll put that. I don't know if you just know what I mean when I say that, but raids in vanilla are, they're a big event. You're there with people you know. You're there. The mechanics are not hard, but the vibes are immaculate. It's like, okay, I think this is a good way to say it. Vanilla raids are like playing really old shooters like Counter-Strike and stuff with server browsers. You have to manually find a server that you like, a community that you like, and kind of stick with them if you want to play the game. Retail raids are modern day matchmaking. It's a better experience getting into a game, getting into a raid, but the community vibes are eviscerated when you do that. So, not to say that they shouldn't be. I enjoy the community vibes. That's why I enjoy Classic. But the benefit of being able to easily get into the content, it can't be understated. And keep still talking about flex rating coming to, we'll say, classic versions of the game. I don't think that having them be set at 40 man, set at 25 man is the only thing keeping the community vibes with it. So I do think the rest of what makes that happen might be enough to continue that vibe if they did introduce flex rating into classic versions of the game. I've thought about this a lot. 2019 vanilla classic was, bar none, probably top 5. It's not a moment, but I almost put it in top 5 moments of my life. It's up there with the birth of my children, my marriage, and other important milestones in my life. Like, I know that that's crazy to say. Maybe not crazy if I'm on Twitch streaming WoW. If I were to say that to random people at work, that would be an insane thing to say. But that moment, 2019 Vanilla Classic, and playing that is so important to me as a person and is a major point. If I look back at the history of my life, that's a reference point in my life before or after Vanilla Classic was released, you know? So I've thought about this so much because I want more of that. I think that's what it really boils down to with the WoW community. The WoW community wants more of that. The success of 2019 Vanilla Classic has sparked the desire for all this other stuff. Flex rating lets us dads just vibe with the dads and boys. 100%, exactly. And that is the audience for any sort of vanilla content. It's not Zoomers. Yeah, I mean, you have a few of them. And no hate to my Zoomers. I love all of you. But it's just not the audience, so I agree. All right, that raid didn't work out. Let's see if we can find a Void Spire. Nothing fresh. Maybe we could do some Mythic Plus. Like, I know you didn't do Kara this round, but that was so much fun. I loved Karazhan the first time through TBC. Is probably my favorite raid out of TBC. Even when it was just on farm, it was so nice to just hang out. Yeah, exactly. And so if Karazhan could have been flex rating, we probably would still be raiding in TBC. I should go level my TBC character. Honestly, I really should. I'm still in Hellfire Peninsula, and there's just a little hump I need to get over to get out of Hellfire Peninsula. Once I get out of Hellfire Peninsula, I think I will actually be, moving along quite well in TBC. I could leave if I wanted to right now. I could. I'm level 62 in TBC. But I just have quests I still need to finish. I don't know. I should. I'm going to go over to TBC. Maybe. I'll level with you. do have a character at 62. The problem is, I don't know how to articulate this. What I love with people... no. I was going to try to... it's not worth articulating. I'll be playing Wrath 100%. I hope that summer all of us join 2 of Classic Plus gets announced and it's a year out or whatnot. I'm 100% planning on doing both of those. I'm planning on playing Wrath, and you have to take that with a grain of salt because I am committed to playing Wrath, but I also said I was going to play TBC, and we saw how that went. But I do plan on playing Wrath. And Classic Plus is a no-brainer. Wrath 10-man reigns. Yeah, 100%. I would do full Wrath again. I would. I loved the vibes of our guild during Wrath. There are ups and downs, but that's exactly what you want. It's perfect. Drama. 25-man raids. I loved the 25-man raids. It was exhausting to try to gather them because we never had a good 25 solid group of people, but it was so much fun. Some of my best memories of my life are Wrath 25-man raids. So I would do it fully again, not just 10-mans. I would also do 10-mans with the boys, so to speak, but I wouldn't even be opposed to doing full guild activity like we did again, but we'd have a solid 10. Yeah, exactly. So I think especially since we've already done Wrath now through once, I don't think we would be as concerned with doing a 25-man, and so I think we'd be much more okay with doing 10-mans. Because I think we ran into this problem where if we couldn't get a 25-man going, we were really concerned that we wouldn't get the parts for Shadowmourne, we wouldn't get the Valinir shards, whatever. But now that we've done all that, we did Valinir, we did Shadowmourne, we did 25-man heroics, stuff like that. I don't think we'd be concerned with it anymore. It would be in there more for vibes, and it would be so fun. Yeah, it would be. The vibes would be immaculate. Or imagine they bring flex rating to Wrath. I don't know how they would handle that because there is a difference between 25-man and 10-man loot and stuff like that, and the shards and different raid tiers, but it'd be so nice. I think if I were to bring flex rating to Classic, and I'll talk specifically about Wrath, because Wrath is when they introduced 10-man and 25-man split rating. So a 10-man's obviously in TBC, but Wrath is where they first had the same raid can be 10 or 25-man. In Wrath, there was different item levels for 10 and 25-man, and other stuff too, like getting I'll use Valinir shards in Ulduar. You could only really get those in 25-man. I think you could I don't remember for sure, but I think you could get them 10-man heroic. I might be wrong about that. I can't remember for sure. Either way, though, no, maybe you couldn't. You got a better hard modes. Sorry, it's Ulduar's hard modes. You had a better chance of getting them in hard mode, whatever. I think they just do away with 10-man item level loot. Make it 25-man item level, regardless of the size of your raid. Make the drops the same. It does make it a little more casual, but if we're adding flex rating to that anyway, it's already a little bit more casual. And so I don't think I have a problem with that. I think that would be nice. Just remove the 10-man loot pool, basically. Are there any... There's no items that are exclusive to 10 or... Oh, there are. So there's an interesting problem. So the second to last boss of Ulduar is an example I'm thinking of. I'm sure there's more examples. General Kazax, is that his name? Kavax, something like that. The big bug dude. He does have items that are unique to 10 and 25, man. I wonder how you would remedy that. Maybe you, because the gut reaction, quick kick answer to remedy that is to just make all the 10-man loot scaled up to 25-man item level and stats and everything. But that could cause some balancing issues. There might be an item that only drops on 10-man that is balanced because it's dropped in 10-man, but if it was bumped up to 25-man item level, it'd be broken. Maybe that's okay, though. I don't know. What do you guys think? How do we solve the problem of flex rating in Wrath where 10 and 25-man raids are very different? I think no matter what you say, no matter what solution you come with, there's going to be people that are upset about it. But that's the case with everything. Just do what they did in Kata and Mop. What did they do in Kata and Mop? Eye level's the same regardless. Yeah, okay. Yeah, which is basically what I'm saying. Like, just have it be the same. It doesn't matter. So then, I guess I already answered my own question. But, yeah. I think that'd be good for the game. Especially if we looked at TBC, and TBC has been virtually no changes. I mean, small quality of life changes have been made to TBC Anniversary. But if they're going to keep it very vanilla going into Wrath, it's going to get stale. They need to balance legendary shards. Yeah. So that's a concern. 10-man versus 25-man having unique items is a concern. But I don't think they're insurmountable concerns, I guess, is the point. But yeah, I would do Wrath again, for sure. I don't know. I already committed. So I asked the other day when Black Temple is coming out, and Del Red said, all he said was, he just looked up the timeline. It said, I can't remember if it was before or after BlizzCon, but there's no official release date. I had committed months ago. I'm sure you guys remember this because you guys are the ones that are holding me accountable to this. I committed to having a character leveled for TBC. I want to do Black Temple. I want to keep that commitment. Even though people have started kind of fading in TBC, I want to keep that commitment for sure. So, Black Temple's fun. And the thing about TBC is there's reason-ish to go back and do other raids. So we could still do a Karazhan, We could still do a Serpentrine Cavern. Not as much. Wait, Serpentrine Cavern's the wrong thing. You know what I mean. Wait, is it? Hold on. I'm not going to try to figure it out. I'm just going to let it vibe. I'm just going to let my statement land. Anyway, so yeah, I want to keep my commitment to actually finishing leveling a TBC character. I need to. Brandon's been handling everything really well for a long time. I rely on him too much to do it all on his own. I need to get back in it. Get the community back up again. I need one more feather. Come on, birds. Come on, birds. Duh, birds. Where do we think retail's headed? There's still a massive player base on retail. I love retail. Retail restored first does well. Do we think retail's headed in a better or worse direction than historically? And I'm talking about with changes like I do think a console release is coming out soon for retail. Maybe not coming out soon. Probably announced soon. In fact, that might actually be something to look out for at BlizzCon as a console release announcement for retail. I could see that happening for sure. They've already done some of the steps to get retail onto console, so I could see that. But and spell pruning is one of those steps. So I could for sure see a console release coming for retail. But I don't know. There's really, really, really established systems I have high expectations for Last Titan. You don't tell me we go back to Northrend and mess that up, especially how they did my boy Arthas dirty in Shadowlands. Good point. Good point. I forgot that expansion is to take place in Northrend. That, hopefully, that will be vibes and a half. Hopefully. It would be hard to mess that up, but which company could do it? Blizzard could. So I have high hopes for that too. I think it'll be good. I hope. So Midnight's been the lull point from. So we got the trilogy of War Within, Midnight, Last Titan. People are kind of concerned because Midnight's been a little bit more of a low point when compared to War Within. But if we're looking at a story, a normal story, the beginning hooks you in, is interesting. The middle is a bit of a lull, and then you come back up for the climax. If this is to follow that story, it's okay that Midnight is a bit of a lull. It does need to be a little better, and I'm hoping. I mean, we just finished the first tier of the expansion, so I think people are judging it a little too quickly. But it's okay for it to be a little bit of a lull, and I'm also really excited for Last Titan. I'm really excited. Oh, yeah. What a banger. We're turning this up. What a banger. What are we talking about? I got distracted by Super Mario music. Where do I turn this one in at? Over there. Over there. Ad warning. 20 seconds if you're not subscribed. Ad warning. It's only on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. You're fine. What else is there to talk about with WoW right now? I've seen people kind of getting back into hardcore. I've never finished a hardcore character. I don't know that I even actually have a desire to. But is there a reason people have been getting back into hardcore, or is it just because there's a lull in WoW content right now? It's probably just because there's a lull, right? I feel like I would have seen if there was some sort of actual announcement for hardcore. I know that there's a SOD event happening, a community event at that, but an event nonetheless. Which is, I think it's mostly happening in EU. I was going to say I wish I could be a part of that, but it's happening in Europe. All right. The biggest complaint I have with retail, and this is an old man dad problem, there is so much bloat, for lack of a better word, in retail. I don't feel like I can commit to everything. At least on Classic, I can miss a week and still be raid ready. For sure. And they have done a lot to reduce that in every way. And I was actually talking as well before you got into the stream. I think they've actually done a little bit too much for the vibe of retail. Because retail, does target a little bit more of a younger audience, I would say. It's still WoW, so it's still not a Gen Alpha audience, not a Fortnite audience. But it's certainly a younger audience than Classic is. But they have done a lot of reduction of bloat, both in terms of systems, in terms of stuff you have to do to keep up, power shares, stuff like that. Weapons, class abilities, stuff like that. It's specifically the class abilities that I think they've done too much reduction on. But they have done a lot. But I don't think it's all healthy. Hardcore's a vibe. It's just something different. I like the little bit of fear of don't die, and Brandon and I are running a duo. Has been so much fun just hang out and not take anything too serious. Yeah, for sure. I think that's all it truly is. I think people are just looking for something to fill the WoW void right now, where there's not much happening. Don't I have... Isn't this for... Let me read my... Hold on, I still have this turn in. Where does this turn in? Over there? I'm going to go turn that in before I do more quests. I don't think I've ever heard this song. I never played Pokemon Snap or Puzzle League. That's what this is from. I'm sick of this fire buff happening above my head. It's pissing me off. This is not going to be worth running all the way over there. I don't know that I have the mental fortitude for hardcore. I think I have the skill in WoW to do hardcore. I've never died in hardcore, actually. That's an important thing to say. I've only made it to like level 20, but I've never died in hardcore. Okay, stop. Oh my gosh. This is pissing me off. I think I have the skills in WoW to do hardcore. That's ultimately what it is, though, is part of the skills of doing hardcore is the mental fortitude. If we're being honest. So I guess I don't have the skills to do it. And that's the thing, too. If someone's saying they have the skills to do hardcore, then prove it. Bitch. That's what I say. So I take it back. I don't have the skills for hardcore. That was tempting. That was tempting. I'd like to get into PvP and Classic. I've had phases of PvP in retail. And I enjoy PvP a lot, actually. But I've done PvP in Classic, especially during vanilla, like trying to grind high ranks for gear, stuff like that. I never did a rank 14 grind, but Been talking nonstop for like an hour. My throat hurts. And my water's empty. Bring 12 plump buzzard wings to Legacy at the Zeppelin Crash. Is it over here? Yeah. Okay, we can go do that. I'll go do that for you, bub. Papa Baja. I've work tomorrow, bro. And I'm out of Baja Blast. I got Dr. Pepper Zero in there right now. I finished that one. Give me a sec. Let me shoot off a text to my lady. All right, buzzard wings. I'm sipping a squirt. Dude, squirt is underrated. Squirt is underrated. Don't pause. I want that to be taken out of context. I want someone to clip that. I'll clip it. Now no one else can clip it. There's a joke I saw. Actually, I can't say this. It's streaming on TikTok, so never mind. I saw no joke. No jokes have been seen by my eyes or heard by my ears. I'm sick of this freaking fire. There's got to be. I'm certain that there's an aura to turn that off, like a weak aura, but I don't care to try to find it right now. But it's pissing me off. We got to plan something to do this weekend with the boys. Bummer. Like I said, my wife is going to her mom's house for the weekend. They've got a family reunion. I have to work Friday and Saturday, which is why I'm not going. Normally I would go. I don't hate my wife's family. I love my wife's family, actually. But that does mean that I'm going to be here after work. So I'm going to come home from work. I'm going to come home from work and have nothing to do. No kids. I mean, I've got responsibilities still, but... No. No, no, no. No, no. Damn it. Hold on, let's see how good you did. Dude, Squirt is underrated. Squirt is under... That's crazy. That's... I stand by what I said. 100% stand by what I said. See, man, the lick emote's perfect. It's perfect. I still want to play more PUBG. I do. When you asked earlier, I still was tempted, but I wanted to get some WoW in. I have to. When you only have like a couple hours a day to game, you got to prioritize. Really, I should prioritize what is the most fun to me. But right now, what the most fun to me would be doing a raid with the boys, which is not available right now, so I got to make that available. Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Yeah. Something this weekend. I think that's what you're responding to, but I'm just vibing on Mob watching UTBC. Yeah. I need it. Wrath was too good to us. I feel the same about MOP, honestly. If I had more time, if I was playing games for 8 hours a day, I for sure would have characters leveled in MOP as well. I think that's been the main issue. Not that I haven't wanted to play WoW, because I have wanted to play WoW the last few months. February is when my Counter-Strike kick really started, and still is there. I really want to play Counter-Strike right now too. But it's not that I haven't wanted to play WoW. It's just I just have significantly less time to these days. And that's natural. That's life. If I'm able to achieve my goal of being able to do streaming and YouTube full time, then I'll have so much more time to play WoW, to level, and to, you know, play games that I want to play. But when I only have a couple hours at night, I got to play just whatever game is going to give me the most dopamine. Leveling is actually, so this is the first time I've really experienced this leveling, but just vibing, talking to chat. This is actually a pretty enjoyable way to level. Makes sense why streamers are able to do it. As long as I have stuff to talk about, I can yap for years. What I really need... Ooh, this is a good idea. I should do like I'm doing a boardroom presentation, but while leveling in WoW, about some random topic that I'm interested in, because I get a lot of those. I need to have my water filled up regularly when I'm streaming. Holy crap, I've been streaming for how long? Like an hour 15 and my throat is already so tired. Maybe I'm sick. I'm not sick. I've just been talking more than normal. I've both been conscious about leaving dead air open, and also I just have so much to talk about with WoW all the time, and I just don't have much of an opportunity because I haven't been playing WoW. Oh, I gotta start the music back up. Ouch. P3 TBC PTR announced. Oh, really? Can I go to where? Oh, I need to go. 2.5.6 PTR. Is that the version we're talking about? If you got a link, send it to me. I want to look at that. Send it in Discord if you have it. I actually don't know if it'll... Actually, I'll let you send the clip link. It should be fine in Twitch chat. Okay, I'll click that just a sec. Oh, what a headline. The Burning Crusade Anniversary Phase 3 PTR is now available for testing no gameplay systems. Does that mean no gameplay systems are available for testing, or they're not adding any gameplay systems? Well, I guess we should read. Let me make sure I'm in a safe place. Honor hold right there. It's probably fine. So, okay. Blizzard has announced that the PTR, Burning Crusade, now available. However, this PTR does not currently include any game systems such as new raid access, new gear, or consumables. It also has frozen service systems and allows add-on creators to create or maintain add-ons based on PTR is available for... So usually, isn't it like... How long is it usually after a PTR is released until the actual phase comes out? Isn't it usually a few weeks, or am I tripping? So basically, if it is a few weeks, I got a few weeks to level, is what I'm saying. That's why I'm asking. So a little background here. In P2, they did this. Then the raid testing came like 4 weeks later. Then 6 more weeks after that, they announced. Oh, so it's quite a while. Assuming they're doing the same thing, it's quite a while. I hope they don't take that long. P3, we'll see. Yeah. If they do take a little bit of time, that gives me time to gear up, I guess, and actually get up to speed TBC-wise. E3 will be a good time. I originally said when TBC, actually I think I said this back when Vanilla Anniversary was announced. Maybe it was either Vanilla Anniversary or TBC Anniversary was announced, because I think when Vanilla Anniversary was announced, I remember it was around Thanksgiving of 2024. I remember, I feel like I thought at the time it was obvious it would go through TBC and Wrath, and I remember thinking at the time that I wanted to play a rogue because I wanted Warglaives. How far we've fallen. How far we have fallen. I don't know that I could play a rogue, though. It's my least played class across all versions of WoW by a mile. Don't share that in the Discord. That's a good one. That's a good one, though. That's a good one. That's one that should go on the internet. I gotta watch it again, honestly. It's pretty good. Dude, Squirt is underrated. Squirt is under. Dude, it's crazy. I wanted to play Rogue so many times, but then I start and realize I hate it. That's exactly what I do, dude. It's exactly what I do. The vibes of a Rogue are so cool. And I committed enough at the end of War Within to... Sorry, I'm listening. I did commit enough at the end of War Within to have a max level Rogue and like do raid content with it. And it was fine. It was fine. But it's just not my favorite. All right, give me 1 second. Why play Rogue when you can play Demon Hunter? Because we're playing TBC. No, actually though, like a Demon Hunter is just everything a Rogue wants to be. Okay, I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna take a very quick break, go to the bathroom and fill up my water and stuff, and get my daughter's show going and stuff. I'll be right back. Everton. Now I gotta take a sip. All right, less of a sip, more of a chug. You guys do that where you get some water and then you start drinking. You're like, right as you start drinking, you're like, holy, I'm God's thirstiest boy. That's what I just did. All right, let's finish getting these stupid chicken wings. Probably need to update that add-on. Boom, boom. This playlist I'm listening to is awesome because it's not just the iconic Nintendo 64 game songs. It's like all the Nintendo 64 game songs. All the time I'm terrible about drinking any liquids at work, and then I'll go on a break and drink 2 bottles in 5 minutes. I do that too. I get too caught up and too like in the zone, focusing on what I'm doing, finishing a project or whatever. And then I look at my watch and it's been 4 hours and I haven't drank anything. And the other problem too is when I do remember to drink something, it's usually like an energy drink or something like that, which is just not good. I need to be drinking more water. I try to offset it a little bit. I try to have both water and whatever my drink of choice happens to be for that day next to each other. So when I go for a drink of the energy drink, I also take a sip of water, but I'm too ADHD to actually follow through with that all the time. A Party at Peach's Castle, Paper Mario is the title of this next track, coming in from you're listening to 97.3 The Game with me, your host Billy Coldcuts. We play Nintendo tracks and Nintendo tracks only all night for your listening pleasure. This next one's called The Party at Peach's Castle, played on the Paper Mario album. This is a classic. This is recommended. This is called in by Jerry down there in Louisville. This one's for you, Jerry. I didn't ever play Paper Mario. I played I technically played it a tiny bit because I played it on like the Switch emulator thing for Nintendo 64. But that was one of those games a lot of people talked about back in the day that I just never ever got into. It's one I should get into. When I played that Products and Furious segment on NPR with that DJ voice, you know it. It could also be like an airline pilot, like attention folks, we've got a Party at Peach's Castle playing over the intercom. We'll be listening to the song. We're on air. Please don't fight. Ooh, Toad's Turnpike. This is a banger. I'm gonna turn this up a smidgen. Anyway, like I was saying, Paper Mario is one of those games that like I played for 30 minutes maybe, and it feels really good for being a Nintendo 64 game. And that's me saying that thinking Nintendo 64 games feel good. That's not like saying, oh wow, Nintendo 64 games suck, but that one's a cut above the rest. All right, not all of them actually. A lot of 64 games are pretty clunky. But like it's very smooth, very good. I hated this circuit on Mario Party, Toad's Turnpike, but the music's good. I'm so close to being done with this quest. This drop rate is not 80%. That's a lie. Slander. Uno mas. Nice. We did it. The very challenging quest. We completed it. The Nintendo 64 soundscape is so good, dude. I found on YouTube today while I was working. Oh. Cue the door music. We did it. Yeah. We did it. We did it. We did it. Hooray. Do I want to go back to Thromar? Yeah, I guess. I think that is going to be it. I need to go to bed earlier tonight because tomorrow I'm going to be streaming and doing a lot. So I know it's a shorter stream tonight, but tomorrow and Saturday will be long streams. How do you guys like that? I like that. I like that quite a bit. My plan. Let me pause this so I can talk about my plan. So my plan tomorrow and probably Saturday as well. I work until 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. whatever's past Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Tomorrow, my wife is waiting to leave to go to her mom's until after I'm home from work. And her mom, she's going and staying at her mom's for a couple days. They have a family reunion on Saturday, but she's going up tomorrow to spend the night at her mom's for the family reunion, so she doesn't have to try to drive up there with the kids in tow morning of. So my plan tomorrow, once I get home, I'm going to help my wife get out the door, going to help her get packed up, get the kids ready, stuff like that. Once she's gone, I don't have any plans tomorrow other than streaming. I don't know what I'm going to stream for sure. It might be WoW again. Probably should be WoW again. But it could be CS, could be PUBG, could be Perfect Dark. I played Perfect Dark. I need to try that again. Could be so many things. And Saturday, very similar thing, only my wife will already be gone, which I'm very sad about. I'm going to miss my wife greatly and my kids. But I'm going to come home from work. I get off the same time, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, and I'm going to come home. And Saturday is going to be my longest stream yet. Because here's the thing. Sunday, I don't work, which means I don't have to go to bed. So I could theoretically, if I get home from work Saturday and start stream, we'll say 4 o'clock. It wouldn't be exactly at 4 o'clock. It'd be more like 4:30, maybe even 5. I got to eat too. But I could also get off earlier, so we could be saying 4 o'clock. I don't know. It's been slow this week. And if I stream from 4 o'clock till 12 o'clock, that's an 8-hour stream, which I really want to do. I just got to have the energy for it. So that's why I'm excited to stream early tomorrow, so I can end a little bit earlier to get enough sleep for Saturday, to work Saturday, come home, stream for 8 hours. I really, really, really want to stream for a full 8 hours. I'm so thankful that I have this time pretty much every night to stream. I have a regular schedule at work. My kids go to bed at a decently regular time. So I have time to stream at night, but short streams. I've only been live for an hour and a half and I already got to get off. I would love to stream longer, and I get to do that on Saturday for the first real time. So I'm excited about that. I got to kind of come up with some sort of plan for that, but I'm excited for it. So anyway, I love you. Good night.